What if everything you believe about money is wrong? What if the rules you followed your entire life, study hard, get a good job, work for a stable income, were never designed to make you wealthy at all? And what if the real reason most people remain stuck in the same financial loop year after year has nothing to do with luck, opportunity, or talent, but with a silent force operating inside their own mind? Let me ask you something that might feel uncomfortable. If you suddenly stopped working today, how long could you survive? A year, 6 months, a week, or not even one day? This question is shocking because it exposes a truth almost everyone tries to avoid. Most people are not financially free, not because they lack money, but because they lack financial thinking. They've been trained to survive, not to grow, to obey, not to reason, to work for money, but never to make money work for them. And that's why today, we begin this journey by stepping into the most important discovery of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the discovery that changed the life of millions. Before we continue, welcome to Tomorrow Better Version. If this message speaks to you, if you feel a shift in your mind, even in these first few lines, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the videos that follow. Now, let's go deeper. When Robert Kiyosaki was young, he had two fathers. One was educated, knowledgeable, respected, a man who believed in the traditional path. The other father never finished school, but became a millionaire, entrepreneur, and investor. From these two men came two different worlds, two mental models, two destinies. The poor dad believed in working hard, chasing promotions, saving money, and avoiding risk. The rich dad believed in building assets, understanding money, and mastering the psychology behind wealth. Both loved him, but only one taught him how money actually works. Here's the truth many people ignore. Wealth is not created by income. Wealth is created by mindset. If your mind thinks like a poor person, no amount of money can keep you rich. If your mind thinks like a rich person, even a small amount of money can multiply. That is why lottery winners often go bankrupt after a few years, and why people who start with nothing can build empires. Money follows mindset, not the other way around. The educated father believed the safest path was getting a stable job, but the rich father asked a different question. Why spend your entire life working for money when money can work for you? Those who work for money trade time for survival. Those who make money work for them, trade ideas for freedom. And the dividing line between the two is not talent, intelligence, or background. It is financial literacy, the ability to understand assets, liabilities, cash flow, markets, taxes, and the rules of money that schools never teach. Think of it this way. Two people can earn the same income. One becomes financially free. One lives paycheck to paycheck. The difference is how they use money. One buys assets, the other buys comfort. But the real issue goes even deeper. People are conditioned to think about money emotionally, not logically. They fear losing it, so they avoid learning about it. They crave security, so they give up freedom. They let taxes, debt, and expenses quietly eat their future without ever stopping to ask, is there another way? Rich Dad said something powerful. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich create systems where money works for them. And he taught Robert that the starting point of wealth is not a high income. It is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's the golden rule. But here is the surprising part. Most people don't know which is which. They think their house is an asset, even though it takes money every month. They think a new car is a success symbol, even though it drains them with payments. They think saving money in a bank is safe, even though inflation silently destroys it. The rich dad taught the opposite. Don't work to buy liabilities. Work to buy assets. Assets like rental properties, businesses, intellectual property, stocks, investments, anything that creates income without your daily presence. This is where the true mind shift happens. Financial freedom begins when your assets pay for your lifestyle. Not your job, not your effort, not your time, your assets. This idea is simple, but it changes everything, because once you understand it, you stop asking, how can I afford this? And you begin asking, what asset can I create to pay for this? This is how wealthy people think. They let money serve them. They don't serve money. But the foundation goes deeper than just knowledge. At its core, financial freedom is built on courage. The courage to think differently from the crowd, the courage to question the rules you were taught, and the courage to take responsibility for your financial life instead of waiting for someone else to save you. Robert's rich dad taught him that the moment you start blaming the economy, your job, your boss, your parents, or anything external, you have surrendered your financial power. The moment you say, I choose to learn, I choose to grow, I choose to create assets, that is the moment your life begins to shift, because money is not the goal. Money is the result of who you become. Let this sink in. You are not stuck because you lack money. You are stuck because you lack a money mindset. And the moment the mindset changes, money will follow. Before we move on, take a moment to breathe. This is the beginning of a new financial identity for you. Not the identity society gave you, but the one you choose to create. If this message resonates with you, remember to subscribe to Tomorrow Better Version so you don't miss the next chapters of this financial awakening. Now, let me leave you with a small reflective question to start reprogramming your financial mindset. If you suddenly received $10,000 today, what would you do with it? A, use it to buy something you've always wanted. B, use it to buy or build an asset that can make you more money. Comment A or B below. Your answer will reveal more about your financial future than you think. If you look closely, you'll notice something strange. Most people are not trapped by circumstances. They are trapped by their own minds. They want a better life, more opportunities, more freedom, yet they move in circles, repeating the same year again and again. Not because they lack potential, but because invisible forces inside them keep pulling them back. Fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. These are the silent killers of financial dreams. Let's explore them gently. Honestly, the way a friend would pull you aside and whisper the truth you've avoided for years. The first barrier is fear. Fear of losing money, fear of failing, fear of looking stupid, fear of starting something and not finishing it. Most people don't realize that fear is not the problem. Everyone is afraid, rich and poor. The difference is this: the rich learn to act in spite of fear, while the poor wait for fear to disappear. And fear never disappears, it only grows. When you let fear control your decisions, you shrink your life into the smallest possible version of yourself. Fear convinces you that safe is wise, but safe often becomes stagnant, and stagnant silently becomes suffering. The second barrier is doubt. Doubt whispers, what if it doesn't work? But never asks the more powerful question, what if it does? Doubt is the voice of your past, telling you that the future will be exactly the same. It makes you believe opportunities are scams, risks are dangerous, and other people's success is either luck or lies. Doubt is what keeps people standing outside the gates of opportunity, holding the key but refusing to turn it. Rich Dad used to say, doubt kills more dreams than risk ever will. The truth is simple. Your life expands or contracts based on the size of your belief. The third barrier is laziness, though not the kind you think. Most people are not physically lazy. They wake up early, work long hours, take care of family, handle responsibilities, but they are mentally lazy. They are too tired to think, too overwhelmed to learn, too distracted to grow. Mental laziness is when someone says, I don't have time, but spends hours scrolling through their phone. Mental laziness is choosing comfort over improvement. And nothing kills wealth faster than the refusal to learn something new. The world rewards those who expand their mind. It punishes those who stop growing. The fourth barrier is bad habits. Not dramatic ones, subtle ones. Overspending to feel good, saying, I'll save later, I'll invest later, I'll learn later, until later becomes a lifetime. Avoiding difficult conversations. Working for money, but never studying money. The habit of emotional spending. Stress spending, boredom spending. The habit of hanging around people who complain instead of create. Rich Dad always said that habits are financial destiny. A wealthy mind is built through repetition, reading, investing, learning, taking notes, reflecting, acting. Poor habits keep the cycle of survival alive, even for very smart people. The fifth barrier is arrogance. This one destroys more wealth than any of the others. Arrogance is not loud or aggressive. Sometimes it is soft and quiet. It shows up as, I already know that, or this won't work for me, or I don't need to learn more. Arrogance blocks wisdom. It closes the door to new ideas, new mentors, and new opportunities. Rich Dad said, arrogance is the moment you stop learning, and the moment you stop learning is the moment you start losing. These 5 psychological traps, fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance, don't just hold people back financially. They shape their entire life. They decide who becomes free and who remains stuck. The tragedy is not that people fail, but that they fail without realizing why. Yet here is the good news. Every barrier you face exists in your mind, and everything in your mind can be changed. Fear can be tamed by action. Doubt can be replaced by evidence. Laziness can be dissolved by purpose. Bad habits can be rewritten by discipline. Arrogance can be softened by humility and curiosity. Financial success is not a destination. It is a process of internal transformation. Wealth grows outside only after it grows inside. When you understand these barriers, you stop fighting the world and start working on yourself. And that is the moment real change begins. Not loud, not dramatic, but quietly, like a shift in the heartbeat. Because the truth is simple. Money does not change your life. Mindset does. And once your mindset rises above these 5 traps, you will be shocked by how quickly abundance follows. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to break through financially while others work endlessly without moving forward, the answer almost always lies in one thing: skills. Not luck, not talent, not family background. Skills. Wealth isn't an event, it's a capability. And the people who create passive income consistently aren't just lucky. They understand money in a way that most people never learn. Think of financial skills as the invisible engine that quietly powers freedom. You cannot see them from the outside, but you can always see their results. When someone sleeps while their investments grow, when someone travels while their rental property pays the bills, when someone buys an asset once and collects income forever, that's not magic, that's mastery. There are 3 core skills that form the foundation for passive income: understanding numbers, understanding markets, and understanding people. Everything else branches from these 3. The first is the ability to read numbers. Not advanced math, not complex formulas, just the simple language of money. A person who cannot read financial statements is financially blind. You can work for decades, earn a stable salary, even be responsible and disciplined, but if you cannot distinguish an asset from a liability, you will stay stuck in the middle class forever. Wealthy people look at numbers the way doctors look at x-rays. They see what's healthy, what's weak, what needs attention, and where the opportunity lies. Income statements, balance sheets, cash flow diagrams, these are not documents for accountants. These are maps. And if you can read a map, you will see routes that other people don't even know exist. Most people think their problem is salary. In reality, their problem is literacy. Without financial literacy, even a high income can vanish. With it, even a small amount of money can multiply. The second skill is understanding markets. This doesn't mean predicting the future. It means knowing how value moves. Markets are simply groups of people exchanging things: houses, stocks, time, information, energy. When you understand markets, you understand timing, trends, cycles, and opportunities. You recognize when something is underpriced, when something is overhyped, and when something is quietly changing in the background. A person who understands markets doesn't panic during downturns. They don't chase fads. They don't follow the crowd. They position themselves before the crowd arrives. They see that every crash hides a sale. Every crisis hides a shift. Every bubble hides a lesson. Passive income is really about positioning, buying the right thing at the right time for the right reason. Markets speak in patterns, and once you learn to read them, you never look at money the same way again. The third core skill is understanding people. This is the one most people overlook. Money comes from people. Opportunities come from people. Knowledge flows through people. A great accountant can save you thousands. A great broker can spot deals you would never find alone. A great mentor can compress decades of mistakes into minutes of clarity. And when you build a network of people who are smarter than you in key areas, your growth accelerates. Most people only know how to work with people below them. They don't know how to collaborate, how to negotiate, how to build trust, or how to inspire someone to want to help them. But wealth requires cooperation. You cannot scale alone. You need people who have strengths you don't have, insights you don't possess, and access you cannot buy. Rich Dad used to say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Learning to align with talent is a financial skill. Once you master these 3 skills, numbers, markets, people, you unlock the doors to passive income. Because passive income is never truly passive at the beginning. It requires awareness, decision-making, and courage. But once you set it up, it becomes the quiet servant that works for you while you live your life. Examples? A rental property is passive income, but only after you understand the numbers that determine whether it cash flows, the market that determines its value, and the people who will help you maintain it. Stock investments are passive income, but only after you understand the financials of the company, the behavior of the market, and the professionals guiding you. A business system can produce passive income, but only after you understand customers, employees, partners, and how value moves among them. Everything comes back to skills. This is why wealthy people invest heavily in education, not school education, but financial education. They attend seminars, read books, join networks, study markets, analyze deals. Poor and middle-class people hope money will come. Wealthy people build the skills that make money come. Here's the most empowering truth. Financial skills are learnable. You are not born knowing them. You don't need permission to learn them. You don't need a perfect background or a perfect income. You only need curiosity, consistency, and a willingness to look at money differently. The moment you begin learning these core skills, passive income stops being a dream. It becomes inevitable because money follows skill, always. And when your mind expands far enough, wealth has no choice but to follow. Most people grow up believing money is something you earn, something you chase, something you work for. But the rich see money completely differently. They see it as something to create, something to design, something to multiply through ideas. And that single shift, seeing money not as a paycheck, but as a possibility, changes everything. If the poor work for money and the middle class work to save money, then the rich work to create money. They understand that money is not a physical object. It's an agreement. It's trust. It's the result of ideas meeting opportunity. And the moment you understand that money is created, not received, your entire life begins to transform. The investor mindset begins with one belief. Opportunities are everywhere. Not occasionally, not rarely, everywhere. But most people never see them because their minds are trained to look for safety, not possibility. They wait for the perfect time, the right conditions, the green light. But wealth doesn't happen in green lights. Wealth happens in uncertainty, in change, in disruption. Wealth grows in the same soil where fear grows. The difference is what you choose to see. Rich people train themselves to see value where others see problems. A declining market, they see discounted assets. A struggling neighborhood, they see future development. A misunderstood stock, they see hidden potential. An economic crisis, they see opportunity to reposition. Every financial breakthrough begins with the ability to interpret reality differently. That is the essence of a financial IQ. Upgrading your financial intelligence is not about having more information. It's about having better interpretation. Everyone sees the same headlines. Everyone hears the same news. Everyone watches the same market movements, yet only a small percentage turn those signals into wealth. Why? Because most people don't know how to think like investors. Investors ask different questions. Instead of, is this risky? They ask, how can I control the risk? Instead of, what if I lose? They ask, what can I learn if I lose? Instead of, can I afford this? They ask, how can I make this pay for itself? Instead of, do I have the money? They ask, who has the money and how can I structure a deal? They don't avoid obstacles, they negotiate with them. Rich Dad used to say, the difference between rich and poor is not income, it's imagination. The rich use imagination to design financial structures that create money from thin air, through agreements, leverage, partnerships, timing, and information. They don't need to save money first, they need to see money first. Then they make it appear. One example, a seasoned investor sees a house worth $100,000 selling for $60,000 because the owner needs to move fast. Instead of asking, do I have $60,000? The investor asks, who would want this deal? Who would pay for part of it? What terms would the seller accept? Sometimes they buy it with loans. sometimes with partners, sometimes with creative terms that cost them almost nothing. They are not buying with cash, they are buying with knowledge. This is how money is created. Another example, buying undervalued stocks before an announcement, buying land before development, buying assets from distressed owners, finding value that others ignore. In every case, the opportunity existed for everyone, but only the financially intelligent recognized it. Financial IQ is not one skill, it's a blend of essential abilities. You need accounting, the ability to read the story behind numbers. You need investing, the ability to make money grow money. You need understanding of markets, the ability to sense timing and value. And you need knowledge of the law, the ability to protect what you build. When these 4 skills combine, your financial intelligence multiplies. And once your financial IQ grows strong enough, money becomes a byproduct, not a struggle. But here's the truth many people don't want to hear. Upgrading your financial intelligence requires discomfort. It requires facing fear, stepping into uncertainty, risking small losses, learning lessons through experience, and letting go of old beliefs you learned in school or at home. Financial intelligence grows the same way muscles grow, through pressure, through friction, through practice. Many people never develop financial intelligence because they're afraid of mistakes, but mistakes are the tuition of wealth. You learn to ride a bike by falling. You learn to walk by stumbling. You learn to invest by doing small deals, making errors, analyzing outcomes, and adjusting. A person who avoids failure avoids success at the same time. The rich upgrade their financial IQ by constantly learning through mentors, books, seminars, markets, experiments, and opportunities. They don't wait to feel ready. They start small, start early, and start now. They understand that the faster you learn, the faster you earn. And this leads to the final truth. Money flows to people who solve problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money flows to you. When your financial IQ is low, problems look threatening. When your financial IQ is high, problems look profitable. The same situation, interpreted differently, creates completely different lives. You don't need millions to start building wealth. You need awareness. You need a new lens. You need a new way of thinking. Wealth doesn't come from your job, your age, your background, or your starting point. It comes from your mind, trained, strengthened, upgraded. When you think like an investor, you stop chasing money. You start creating it. If there is one truth about wealth that rarely gets spoken out loud, it is this. Financial awakening does not happen in a single moment of luck. It happens in a sequence of decisions. Small, quiet, consistent choices that slowly shift how you think, how you act, and ultimately how you build your life. Money does not change first. Mindset changes first. And when the mind changes, actions follow. When actions change, results appear. When results appear, your identity transforms. This is the beginning of financial awakening. The first step is finding a reason deep enough to carry you through discomfort. You cannot build wealth on weak desires. You cannot push through fear, laziness, or confusion if your why is shallow. The truth is, most people never build financial freedom simply because their reason isn't strong enough. But when someone finally says, I refuse to work until the day I collapse, or I want my children to grow up free, not afraid, or I want a life where time belongs to me, everything begins to shift. A strong why is fuel. Without it, the engine won't start. The second step is understanding that every day is a vote for your future. Each dollar you handle is a choice. Lower future or higher future. Poor people spend money emotionally. The middle class spend money to feel secure. The rich spend money to gain intelligence, opportunity, or ownership. When you make daily choices with intention, your financial identity begins to reshape itself. You stop buying relief, you start buying results. The third step is choosing your environment carefully. You may not realize it, but conversations shape destinies. If you surround yourself with people who fear risk, fear change, or fear opportunity, you will inherit their fears. But if you spend time with people who think creatively about money, who talk about ideas instead of prices, who value growth over comfort, your financial awareness expands effortlessly. Wealth is rarely built alone. It is built in the right atmosphere. The fourth step is mastering one formula at a time. Most people try to learn too many strategies too fast. Stocks, crypto, real estate, online business, everything all at once. But mastery happens through sequence, not chaos. The rich choose one blueprint, one strategy, one formula, and they work it until it becomes second nature. Once it is mastered, they add the next one. You do not need 20 financial skills to become free. You need one mastered completely. The fifth step is learning to pay yourself first, not with leftover money, but with disciplined intention. This is one of the hardest steps because it forces you to grow. When you pay yourself first, you create internal pressure to generate more income rather than shrink into fear. This pressure activates creativity, courage, and resourcefulness. It forces you to think like an owner rather than a worker. Paying yourself first is not about the amount. It's about the identity you build while doing it. The sixth step is building a team of advisors who are smarter than you. Many people try to save money by avoiding mentors, avoiding accountants, avoiding brokers, avoiding financial guidance. But the rich understand that money flows toward those who understand how to manage it. You do not pay professionals for their time. You pay them for their wisdom, which condenses years into hours. A single insight can save you from losing thousands. The seventh step is becoming an Indian giver, getting your initial investment back fast while keeping the asset for free. This is one of the most powerful wealth principles in the world. It is how the rich build massive portfolios without draining their savings. The moment your money returns to you, the risk disappears, but the asset remains. And that is how wealth compounds quietly in the background while you sleep. The eighth step is using your assets, not your salary, to buy luxuries. The middle class buy consuming items with their paycheck. The rich wait until their assets can pay for them. This single shift, delaying gratification until an asset can afford your desires, creates long-term stability. It teaches patience, discipline, and delayed pleasure, three qualities that build generational wealth. The ninth step is choosing heroes and learning from their patterns. You don't need to meet them, you only need to study how they think. Their stories teach shortcuts, their failures teach caution, their success teaches structure. When you model excellence, you bypass years of trial and error. Heroes are not idols, they are mentors in disguise. And the final step is simple yet transformative. Teach others what you learn. When you teach, you reinforce your understanding. When you share, you deepen your clarity. When you give, you open the flow for more to return. The rich teach because teaching strengthens mastery. And mastery builds confidence, which is the ultimate asset in the world of money. What makes these 10 steps powerful is not their complexity, but their simplicity. Anyone can follow them. Anyone can begin today. Anyone can reshape their future by applying them consistently. Your financial awakening will not come from theory, it will come from motion. Wealth grows through decisions, persistence, and patience. You don't need the perfect moment, you need the first step. And today is the perfect day to begin. In the end, the journey toward financial awakening is not really about money. It's about who you become along the way. When you look back at every lesson, from understanding the true nature of assets and liabilities, to overcoming fear and self-doubt, to learning how the rich think, act, and build, you begin to realize that wealth is not an event. It is a transformation of identity. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right opportunity, the right income, or the right moment. But the truth is that no moment is more powerful than the one you are living right now. What separates those who stay stuck from those who rise is not luck, but courage. The courage to question old beliefs, to learn new skills, to challenge habits that hold you back, and to finally take responsibility for the direction of your life. That shift alone is worth more than any investment, because it changes everything that comes after. Financial independence begins internally, long before the bank account reflects it. It starts when you decide to stop running from fear and instead use it as a signal to grow. It starts when you stop seeking approval from others and begin seeking truth within yourself. It starts when you finally stop working just for survival and begin working for freedom. And most importantly, it starts when you choose to believe that your life can expand far beyond the limits of your past, your circumstances, and your old ways of thinking. The real treasure is not the money you accumulate, but the clarity, confidence, and empowerment that grow inside you as you learn to master it. Because once you understand how money works, you never fear it again. You stop being controlled by it. You start directing it. And when money becomes a tool instead of a burden, your entire world opens up. So the lesson is simple. Wealth is built one decision at a time. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn as you go. And little by little, your financial identity will shift, your opportunities will expand, and the life you once believed was out of reach will start moving toward you. Now, let me ask you a simple question to reflect on everything we've explored together. What is the one belief about money you are ready to change after hearing this video? Please share your answer in the comments below. Your perspective might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this journey brought you clarity, courage, or inspiration, kindly subscribe to the channel. Your support gives us the motivation to create more meaningful content to help you grow, succeed, and build a better version of your future.